Nalia, the dual class thief mage that you get access to fairly early on in Baldur's Gate 2, is pretty cool. We're going to take a look at her in this video. Hello, Baldur's Gate fans. This, of course, is Gamer1745, a very old school player of back when there was just Baldur's Gate. And please, everyone, if you're new around here, smash that subscribe button to get more great Baldur's Gate content. And everyone, you can lick the like button. Each time it tastes different. It's tasty. Check this tasted out. Like button. All right. Well, Nalia, you get access to her when you first get to the Copper Coronet, the main sort of inn, tavern, big adventure hook in the slums. And then she has her own quest that she wants you to go on. Now, you don't have to have her in your party to go on to that big quest. To liberate her family's keep or castle, you certainly can have her in your group. Like I say, she's pretty good. You can see her stats are okay, pretty good intelligence, pretty good dexterity. So her thieving skills are locked at 4th level and what's here. So I would say, as she is, you can sort of with a bunch of magic items that are thief oriented, but she really can't, in my opinion, sustain the thief character through the campaign in there now. But she definitely gives you a rather decent mage that has some thieving skills. So quite useful. She has her family ring, which doesn't count as a magic item, so that you can do this and you can get like a +1 ring or plus 1 cloak or +2 or whatever, and do up to, so this is sort of a freebie armor class, saving throw, and fire resistance benefit to her. And I'm playing a highly modded game that does allow some of these items to be removed that I don't know if this one in the enhanced edition is allowed to be removed, but it's usable only by her, so it's not like a cheat item to let everybody else use her. Now, where we are now in the story is, because this is well after going after her keep, when we're not playing that through today, at least, but we are going to play a bit with her in there. So we have cleared out her keep, rescued her aunt, and accepted the keep as one of the strongholds. I do have the mod that allows my main character to get all of the strongholds. There's also a mod out there that will allow NPCs, certain NPCs, to get class-based strongholds, and then there's another mod out there that will allow your main character, which I'm currently playing a multi-class fighter mage, so one of the mods will just allow you to get both the fighter and the mage stronghold. And again, another one that would allow like Minsk to get the Ranger stronghold, Jahira to get the Ranger or the Druid stronghold, and like Barry and a few other of the clerics to get either the cleric or the mage stronghold. Though to continue to progress with them, you have to have those people in your party. So there's multiple ways of doing this. I've just, in this playthrough that I'm currently doing, just giving everything to my main character, Trey Fada, here. So he is the guy now responsible for the keep. And so I went through, cleared out the castle with her in it, kept her in the party very briefly until going to the government district and picking up Jan Janssen as my illusionist thief character to continue on with that and kick Nalia. But that was not a permanent kick in that I do want to finish out some of her storyline. We're not going to do all of that today, but we're going to do some of it here. So when we leave the Copper Coronet, and she goes and hangs out in the Copper Coronet, so we've just come back, picked her up again, and we're going to leave. There, I know what's going to happen, but all this traveling is working. Okay, stuff. Yeah, we haven't been talking. Nalia. Oh, we're not going to go through all of this in detail. I just did this a little while ago. Complete this story with Nalia. So I also have banter accelerators on there. So this is the first time Nalia and Jan have been in the same party. So that is popping up. Really good dialogue improvements, but this is what I want to have happen. Okay, come out here. Let's come here. Now Ares interrupting. You're doing fine. Why do you ask? Yes. You know, we're combating evil. Okay. He's coming up is what we're doing. Messenger. Miss Nalia D. Aunts. I think that's D. Arnis. Yes, that's my name. What can I do for you? I have a message for you, Miss Nalia, from the residents of the D'Arts estate. I must get an imprint of your signet ring to prove I found you. So, yes, of course, you've done well. Thank you, Miss Nalia. Though I do hate to be the bearer of somber news, here is your message. Safe travels to you. Let's see what this has to say, shall we? Oh my. We must go to the graveyard district in Athkatla. I pronounce that. All of the concerns must wait. I am sorry, but I must insist upon this. So, yes, we will go there. You are more correct than I wished, but I forgive you. Yeah, she sort of, in the olden days, to get a little political in this video, the olden days we used to call them limousine liberals, meaning we know better than you. We ride around in limousines, and we know how the pores should be dealt with. And she's very much have this condescending. Yes, then we should go. Let's go. We're going to go to basically her father's funeral. And they have not in this game traveled here yet.
Hello there.
Okay, Miss Nalia, let me just show you to the funeral. So that it sort of teleports us up to the door. Doors open.
It shall be as you wish.
And we come up here, and there's everybody here. So,
yes, you have but to ask. Outstretched hand.
Welcome to this place for this somber occasion. Mingle and celebrate the life of Lord D'Arts. He would have everyone speak as equals. It was good of you to come, Nalia. I know your father would have appreciated it. I hope so. I'm not going to do different people's voices. I'm quite sure a few of his business partners could do without seeing me. Okay. Again, your father would have appreciated it. Yes. Okay. So basically here you want to, have her come and speak. So Hunger and Stoneblade, damn ye for dying Arnts. Ye still owe me a keg and a hunt since me last visit. To your health, wherever you are. Banshee, is that you? Yeah, I'm not going to read all of these. So, to progress through this, you sort of want to go talk to these people. Mate smile. So we know him to be a friend of hers and a friend of the family. I don't know if that with the mods escape that. Lord Misselray Donberger or whatever. Donderbeg. Strange to have more not come to the funeral. Yeah, business people are more business friends than real friends. So yeah, go through with him. This
Stand where you're at, peasant.
oh, did fraternize with some colorful company, I must say. I do find it a bit odd that her aunt is not in attendance here, but I guess the writers of this game just sort of, once she exits stage left, just sort of forgot about her or something. I don't know. Nalia, my dear, I've been worried sick about you. This is Isaea Roenall.
Oh no, it's Isaea. Let's get out of here.
No, you don't turn away. Kindly put a cork in it. I do not slum foppish fools looking for a thrill. Slum, I help people, right? Yeah. Well, like I say, I think she's a bit of both. She's trying to do it with a kind heart instead of just like look at the pores over there and let's laugh at them. Look at the pores and let's help them out. One's little hobbies, but it's just about time you honored your agreement. Honor the honor of your house is at stake. You recall. My home has a new head that owes you no allegiance. Do such agreements carry beyond the death of the maker? No, the master of weapons may assume the title to. Basically, arrangement. This is a fabrication. My word, you have brought them here. This orc is ruling your house. Ridiculous, right? Was that a threat? You had best stop short of intimidation tactics. I do not put up with such things. I trained you well, yeah. So, and his father's over there insulting you. Stop this business. I'll not have such formalities. Farthington, yes, I like Farthington. Yeah, or farty if out of sight of the missus. Well, that's actually sort of funny. So, yeah. Okay, let's get through. Basically, they're arguing that she has been betrothed to him, and he wants the marriage to go through because he would like to get a hold of the estate. Now he's trying to escape.
Just
always willing to try.
Give time to get out of here. Let's see. Do we
I'll
talk
heed
to him?
no churlishness, peasant.
It's a shame. Okay, so. Okay, so basically here is we're moving along the plot line
How may I be of
that
assistance? I shall
of
attend to it
her.
in a trice.
I'm sorry for that extended exchange, but he is such a bounder, such a manipulating, such a... Oh, to Hades with the manners. He is a complete bastard, and calling him that insults bastards everywhere.
Has he always been that driven? He seems quite intent on enforcing your betrothal. I don't know if any more of these lines are voiced, but right, so we've got that going. We're gonna now head out. There's other things to do here in the graveyard, but to keep this part of the plot line, we're going to, because we're keeping this a bit short. Not super short, no, keep coming down this way. You can maybe do a thing on a lot of things to do at the graveyard. There's another little story adventure right there. And so we are going to head out to the Stronghold? Castle, fortress.
By enemies and must defend yourself.
Yeah, and now this, because I've recently just played through this and getting ready for making this video, this happened to me too. So I think this, especially from leaving here, I think this is specifically triggered to having her in the party. Nalia? Right. Okay, so we're going to take these guys down. We are prepared enough in that we have stone skinned, which will definitely help us.
Yes.
So we're going to use Jaheira's superpower, in my opinion, Insect Plague. We're going to target somebody that we think will be targetable and live long enough to have the spell cast. We'll just pick him. He is... let's see. We're going to do, again, chain lightning so that it hits more than one. But there, because she may go like in, cast some spells and
Where
make
can I be
her
of most
targetable.
use?
And Nalia is going to cast confusion on all these guys.
What is it this
Saifada, our fighter mage, is going to hit her with magic missiles to try to disrupt her initial spells.
Sound like Goladon.
And he's going to, because these fights can get nasty. I don't know that this one's going to be so bad. We're going to do Little Flamesy.
Swords, not words!
And Minsk is going to come over here and hit this bandit with a big sword. So now just about all of them are confused, and they're all now panicked because they got Insect Plague and all of the spellcasters, because I think one or more of these armored ones might be, maybe not, I don't know. But when we see an invisible guy over there, that I believe is the thief. And so he may, Little Flamesy may not be needed so much. But
Minsk and Bhaal stand ready.
we'll just stand here and shoot them. So.
I am ready. Go.
Yes?
Well, we have this new death bandit. I think we're still seeing... Are we still seeing... I don't know. An invisible guy being insect plagued. He's finally down. It's the mages and the spell users are my big fears. Take them down. Right, okay. So again, like, yeah, because she got held.
Faster than Chick-Tika Fast
I
Paws.
think that's it for them. So that did go down. I mean, that does, of course, look easy here now at a well-equipped party. I don't know why I'm even bothering with this, because we're not going to, after playing this, we're not going to keep this save for going on. Yeah, let's leave that there.
You have but to ask.
I think that is it. So we have to wait for her. Oh yeah, he did appear. Okay. So I had two thieves that went, or were invisible from like potion of invisibility or something. Okay, so now Nalia is no longer held. Let's get everybody and head out of this street fight. But one thing, if you're early on in the game, you can't cast magic user spells outside of buildings in Catlia until you buy a license. I think it's 5,000 gold, but I'm not absolutely sure. Without cowled wizards, mages coming in and eventually really going after you. First time is like a warning. Now you can cast cleric spells, but not magic user spells. Now you can cast them inside. It's like in dungeons, inside buildings. For some reason they don't detect those. But on these little, and I presume so with, I know for sure in the classic one, but I presume so in enhanced edition, on these little back alley random sort of maps that, pop up, here you can use magic user magic without the cowled wizard showing up. Now I have bought the magic user license, so we're going to continue heading out to here.
I shall attend to it.
Made it out here, no other interruptions to our travel. So now they've cleaned, the original graphic had a bunch of dead bodies and ruins, so they've cleaned up the place and put the graveyard right up there in the front. Now there's one big benefit to having the fighter stronghold, and we'll go take a look at that. Now, what I've often done, especially if early on in the game, and if you don't have a mod that adds some bag of holdings around to buy, you run out of space. And there's another thing you need to know about performance, whether you're playing the old classical. I don't know if they're close enough, too far away yet.
Where Minsk goes,
The classical game, or like this, which is a bit better performance. This is sort of some of the tips element. See here, now I have a rather modern computer, rather good computer, and this time clock is going very smooth here. You can see it, it's not stuttering. I have not tried to play, and I still have an old classic save of a game late in the game. As you play through, there's more and more junk added to the especially if you're talking about a mega mod like this, but any of the games, there's more and more code added to the game as you go along. It's conditions that are checked for. That yes, it's there, but until you go to the area or until something happens, it doesn't get part of the I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. Part of the things that are checked. So this can get to really, really bad stuttering, especially in the classical game. Here, what it's every single second that it's going through, it runs through and checks things. So it goes through your inventory. Just a warning for you if you're having performance problems with your system with these games. So it goes through your inventory. So if you're sort of like me and a pack rat, not everyone is, and it will go through and look at, and even the enhanced edition, which I'm currently playing, will go through and look at things. Now, what it's doing is like Playhouse Deed or Planar prison cell key. It's looking, or Toblis journal first half. It's looking for a note and another note. It's looking, or Harper's amulet. These are things that do different conditions in the game. So if you maintain them in your inventory, note from Maisie, another note, lock of Jahira's hair, it has to go through even these other individual items. I don't think big stacks of things matter, of the same thing. 4 of these +1 daggers, just seeing that number. But the more of these sort of different individual items, whether they are specifically stuff that has a game key in it or just other junk, the more that you have in your thing, it's constantly checking it like every second. And there are some of the better, more newer mods that will optimize some of this stuff. But this is just a warning. So what you can do is you can find one or more, because if you think you might, because especially if you're playing some of the advanced mods, some of these items are used as components for making other magic items. Cromwell's Forge and Rauds and Rollos and others, Sespinard later on. So you might want to keep some of them, because some you don't necessarily know whether, unless you go in and dig through the README files, what might or might not be useful. The Demon Hearts will be useful in making items, whether you want to make them or not. And so you might want to keep some of these items and not just throw them away. So, but if you stick them in a container like this, in one here, you stick these in the container, they won't disappear. They will be there and come back. And so I've often, especially early on, been using that particular container, and then later on, just as for organization, having some bags of holding or potion cases or whatever in there. But that's just one, and there obviously you can use other containers around to do so. Just sort of a tip there. Find a container or containers that you can fairly quickly and easily access to clear out your inventories. Well, we're going to go up here to show sort of the sort of big sort of benefit here of the keep is once you get the stronghold, every week of you owning the stronghold, coming into the library and talk to her.
It shall be as you wish.
Talira, the maid. Hello, my lord Talira. I be one of your new maids. I hope that there be no more trouble like them trolls. I had more than enough excitement working for my last lord, a tyrant of a man. You can come here, and you'll notice every week you'll see a little note pop up that 500 gold is put in your keep, and this is to where you gets put in. Over time, you can come in and collect that. Now, you're not necessarily wanting to, we do have 28,000 gold right now after that added to it. You're not necessarily going to want to just go out and spend all of it on cool new magic items or parties at Copper Coronet or something, because you will have certain responsibilities, and we're going to go through one of them here now. You will there will be some that will send messengers out, but not all of these events or all of these things will have a messenger sent. Some you just sort of need to check in to sort of move the plot line along. So we're going to talk to the Major Domo, who looks like a Patrick Stewart with hair. Let's see. What historical fantasy movie was Patrick Stewart in? Post down in the comments if you know. And whatnot. Okay, greetings, your grace. I actually have a rather angry merchant by the name of Tolmas Bendalia that has been demanding to see you. Okay. It might have something to do with his caravan being waylaid by bandits passing through the region, but he refuses to speak to anyone but your lordship. He is an influential merchant in this area, and I believe he owns the deeds to more than one local farmhold. Will you grant this man an audience, my lord? Now, I don't know how or why or exactly what, because the country you're in, I think this is like supposedly like one of the only main land holding estates that actually has a castle. Most of them are just, mansions or whatever. But this is actually sort of, the family is sort of militarized, and I guess traditionally the lore is that sort of, to defend but by sort of a feudal system. So normally the lord of the area is the person who really sort of quote this isn't necessarily exactly in this country, or let alone in the Forgotten Realms, exactly historical Western European feudalism, but generally speaking, he would sort of be the sort of final owner of the land. And now other people may have what would be, a generational or more lease on the land, in which they in essence pay quote unquote taxes or other sorts of rents to the lord, whether it's as a percentage or as a set amount or whatever. I don't quite know why this guy would own deeds, as in that these farmers had borrowed money from them to, based upon ownership of the land. I don't know quite how that would work, but I don't know that the creators of this game really thought this out. But okay, so just explain this. So he has a pressure point on you that he can potentially foreclose on some of your local farmers. Certainly, show him in. Excellent. Send for him immediately.
Hello, pal.
Okay, you there. Are you the one who has replaced Lord D'Arntz in this land? I demand immediate resolution for this outrage. Do a little bit of acting, but not good voices. I suggest you calm yourself, Mr. Bendelia, and perhaps start by explaining to Lord Trifada exactly what sort of outrage you are referring to. Phew. As if you didn't know, I'm well aware that this land was overrun by those filsome trolls, but that business is now over and done with. Bandits have invaded the passes in the southern reaches of your land. Bandits I have had my caravan traveling through this area the past 10 years, and I have never heard of bandits here. You are responsible for the safety of this area. These fiends burned my caravan and took all my goods. I demand restitution. I guarantee that these bandits will be eliminated as soon as possible. If you ignore me, I swear that not only shall I not travel through these lands again, and part of that is that not so much that he uses your roads, but he, stops along the way and sells goods and maybe buys goods from the locals. So he's part of the economy. But that I shall foreclose on every farmhold that I hold a debt for. I swear I shall. As I said, he cannot easily be ignored. Many will be upset if their farms are foreclosed on, and the bandits will have to be dealt with sooner or later. We do not have the strength yet to face them. Our patrols have too few men. Obviously, the bandits have noticed. We would need mercenaries, my lord. Now, again, from my understanding from what he's saying is that, and you can talk to the head of the guard out in the castle yard out in front of here, that it takes a while to find men that either willing to become soldiers or are soldiers who don't want a lot of money for doing their job. They want some money for doing their job, but they also are willing to accept, room, place to stay in the castle, and food, board, so that they're being fed, and, having the castle be responsible for their arms and armor. Now, they may or may not show up with some arms or armor, kind of thing, but have the castle, provide replacements, provide maintenance. So this takes time to find good men that, aren't going to just try to rip you off or steal from you. It still might happen. There may be some adventures, and with some of the mods may expand some of this stuff with the this Stronghold quest. I know I have a bunch installed, so we may see some of that later and possibly done in a later episode here. So again, subscribe if you want to maybe check some of that out. We'll see what we get to. There's just so much content. I'm not going to cover it all in detail, I don't think, but bits and pieces we will at least. So you can, so that takes time to get built up and get established. But here we go. I know of a few reliable mercenary companies we could acquire for 500 gold that would handle the problem. We could get it as low as 250 that would take longer. So we can either pay 500 or 250 or what, or not. Enough of this chatter. I demand my answer. I will have my restitution or not, or will I have my restitution or not? How much is your caravan worth? We could pay off his caravan. we could say, we're not going to pay off, but we're going to purchase the farm, hold, the debts that he owes. Your risks are your own, merchant. I mean, basically saying fuck off. We're going to go here. And politically, this is good. Will not have my people threatened. We will purchase the farm holder's debts. Well, if you wish to do that, I suppose I might be convinced, but their debts are around 1,000 gold, the same worth as the caravan. Now, he'll both be losing his caravan and losing his debts. So you're actually getting, if it truly would have been 1,000 gold, we can try to push him down to 500, which may be the real price. But we're just going to go because, again, as you saw earlier, we did get a bunch of gold from the castle. So we're just going to pay him off for 1,000. That's very generous, my lord. You know the value of business of your land, I see. As for the bandits, what shall be done? Okay, we're going to, again, because we have the money, we're going to spend. You can try to do the slower or whatnot, but we'll try to hire some mercenaries to drive them off. Good enough, then perhaps I shall return to this area to continue. So he may continue to do business with our people here, and he goes away. We've gained some experience. We've lost some more gold, and he's going to waddle his way out. All right, so, and then, again, basically there's nothing more here to do at this time, so the clock's going to have time. Now your choices will have repercussions later on in the game for running through the Stronghold quests. So if you have the cash, either because you can delay this from happening for a while, not having Nalia in your party, and not showing up and talking to the major domo for a while, and store up some gold to be able to pay these guys off. 1,500 it's cost us. That's 3 weeks worth of rents, and you've now made a bunch of your people happy. So that's just sort of getting started with your running the keep. There are more adventures to come for running the keep and dealing with Nalia. So hey everyone, thanks so much. See you next time for more fantasy adventures.